You're listening to the All Systems Go podcast, the show that teaches you everything you need to know to put your business on autopilot. Learn how to deploy automated marketing and sales systems in your business the right way with your host, the professor of automation himself and founder of Automation Bridge, Chris Davis.
Welcome to the All Systems Go podcast. I'm your host, Chris L. Davis, the founder and chief automation officer of Automation Bridge, the place online to learn about small business marketing and sales automation, where we focus on turning digital marketing professionals into automation service providers. And if you would like to become one or find out more, go to allsystemsgopodcast.com and you can find out not just how to become an automation service provider, but you'll get access to a ton of resources as well. If you're new to the podcast, make sure that you subscribe and share, especially after you listen to this episode in its entirety. At the time of recording this, the All Systems Go podcast is free to subscribe to. Okay. You can find the show in all main podcasting apps like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You can subscribe on YouTube. Do me a favor while you're at it. Leave a 5-star rating and review. It will be greatly appreciated. If for whatever reason you are having a problem finding out where to leave a review, you can go to automationbridge.com/review and we can take care of it for you. Okay. In this episode, I get to speak with Mike Yan, the co-founder of ManyChat. And as the co-founder and CEO of ManyChat, it's his goal to disrupt the $5 billion plus email marketing industry by bringing the convenience of messenger apps to business to customer communications. And he's well on his way too. ManyChat is trusted with over 1 million businesses worldwide, and they source them with the ability to have one-on-one dialogue on a variety of social channels. You will hear Mike's excitement and enthusiasm about chat marketing and what recently dropped to the point where I am going to be adjusting my publication schedule so that this episode goes out early so you all can take advantage of the next big thing in chat marketing. Mike Yan's here to talk about it, co-founder of ManyChat. Enjoy. Mike, welcome to the podcast. I'm glad to have you on, man. How are you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yes. So this is, I got probably just a drop from the cup of value that you're about to give us today by you announcing one update that I really think is going to change the landscape of how people use social media and close leads and everything else. And the timing of this podcast, the timing of this recording is spot on because it was just announced. So just enough of a teaser to get people to wonder, what is he talking about? So before we go there, Mike, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, your background, and your business.
For sure. My name is Mike Yan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of ManyChat, and we are the #1 chat marketing platform in the world. We help businesses automate conversations across messaging apps like Facebook Messenger and now Instagram, DM automation, and WhatsApp, but also other channels like email and SMS.
Yes, and that's big. I just want to I want to list it off. You said Facebook. Facebook is pretty standard. I think people may have engaged with the Facebook Messenger bot by now. Instagram automated DMs. That's new. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
And WhatsApp. And WhatsApp, I feel like I'm glad you mentioned it because when you go outside, I'm US based, but when you go outside of US, the conversations and how people communicate are vastly different. And WhatsApp begins to be one of those applications that you see cross country, not cross state in the US, but cross country, used more widely. So tell us a little bit about what drove you to the decision to start a software company. Is this something you always wanted to do when you were younger? Did you just always love marketing and messaging? Like what was the ingredients there?
Yeah, we've been doing software startups since I was probably 19. So it's been a while, and I think that the inspiration came from my father, who was an entrepreneur his whole
Mm.
life since he was a student, and since I wasn't even like I was either I was just born or somewhere around that. So he was always an inspiration to me, and yeah. As soon as I had a few jobs when I was in the university, just doing waiting tables, just doing deliveries. But then, as soon as I had an idea, started to go the entrepreneurial route, and
Mm.
that's how it all started. We had a few e-commerce, like we had an e-commerce business. We had a few like consumer tech startups, and then in 2015 we started ManyChat.
Nice, nice. So I would imagine you took some learnings from e-commerce and marketing there, and then on some of the consumer products, like you kind of pieced it together. And was this more so a hole in the market that you found, or more so something that you just wanted to do?
Yeah, that's a great question. It was definitely kind of like that hole in the market. I would say even it was technology first, which is
Mm.
a lot of people love to talk about, like find the problem, like fall in love with the problem, not with the solution, right? And then if your
Mm.
solution is not good, then like if the problem is there, you'll find another solution that will solve it. For us, it was different. So I want to paint a picture where the business could be opportunistic. The business could be you
Mm.
see something and you see, oh, this could be a great thing, and then it starts to piece itself together. So for us, it was Telegram, which is also a messaging app like WhatsApp or Facebook
Yeah.
Messenger. Telegram has been getting a lot of traction internationally recently. uh, they had only 65 million monthly active users when
Mm.
we started on the platform. Right now, it's over 500 million, so they grew almost 10x
Mm.
in
Yeah.
the span of 6 years. But at that point, they were one of the first messaging apps to open up their APIs so that developers like ourselves could create platforms and enable businesses, create products for businesses using that messaging channel. So that's how
Yeah.
we got started. We saw an opportunity where we thought, hey, there's 65 million people using this messaging app. Um, businesses will want to do broadcast. Businesses will want to build lists on this messaging app. So we build a platform to do that really in a very simple way without doing a lot of like any coding. Like it just was a completely
Mm.
visual, completely text-based platform. Um, and before that, the only way that you could do a broadcast on Telegram would be if you like would rent servers and like hire developers. So it was really, really hard. So imagine a world before MailChimp, before any email marketing platform. The way you
Yeah.
would do email marketing would be like to set up an email server, to set up a database of
Mm.
emails, and to like basically code MailChimp yourself, right?
Yep.
So we were the MailChimp of messenger marketing, basically helping businesses just do what they can themselves, which is gather a list of messenger subscribers and to broadcast, do sequences, do everything that you would able to do using the classical channels, but on new
Mm.
channels where the customer attention actually is. And that's how we got started on Telegram. 9 months in, actually Facebook Messenger opened up, and we were three people at that point. So it was really
Wow.
it was really a hard decision for us to switch over from Telegram to Facebook Messenger, because with just three people we couldn't support two platforms. We didn't have enough
Mm.
power and just in terms of people on the team to support two platforms. And on Telegram we got a lot of traction already, so we're growing on Telegram. On Messenger, it's a much bigger market, but we have to start from zero. So it's a completely
Wow.
different environment. We don't know if we're going to be able to grow or not. So after a few weeks, like after a week or two of discussion, we were like, okay, we gotta make this leap of faith because it's such a bigger market. if we want to build an international company, we got to go big. And we basically started from zero on Facebook Messenger. We weren't able to transition any of our Telegram customers because it was like it's just geographically it's different. So
Yeah.
people on Telegram
Wow.
are not like overlapping with people who are using Facebook Messenger. But we were fortunate enough to like take all the learnings from Telegram and to really understand what has to be built for Messenger. And instead of building a chatbot platform, we were building a messenger marketing platform. So we were helping businesses
Yeah.
achieve business results. And I think that's what separated us from a lot of the competition who were building like something that sounded great on paper and was really buzzwordy, but
Hmm.
wasn't really what people needed and what businesses needed. And I think that was the key to our success on Facebook Messenger. And now, 5 years later, like Facebook Messenger launched in 2016. So now, 5 years later, we just see so much opportunity with Instagram. Facebook Messenger is a great platform, but Instagram is going to be bigger because
Mm.
the number of businesses who are using Instagram is bigger, and the fact that you already have such a huge organic reach on Instagram allows you to re-engage people and allows you to create that attention and that engagement on the platform. But the thing that people are struggling with is conversion. So you have
Yeah.
followers, you have likes, you have comments, but do you actually drive sales with your Instagram? Do you actually drive bookings? Do you actually get leads? And I think people are already like definitely they're already doing it, but what we are seeing is that you could do that 10x better with DM automation, with automating your direct messages. And that's what
Yeah.
we were really excited to bring to the table. Like this is just like for everybody who's listening, this is something that's just been released just a few months, like just on June 2nd. So basically, literally 2 months ago. And this is the most cutting edge technology for Instagram that you can find. And in 1 year, remember my words, in 1 or 2 years, every business account is going to be doing DM automation. This is going to be just table stakes. This is going to be something that is a no brainer. Like having a
Hmm.
bio or leading, like having a link to capture people, etc. This is what DM automation is going to be because of how powerful it is. Just to give you a few numbers, for example, what you could do with DM automation on Instagram is you could post a story, let's say, and say, hey, we got this new product coming out. DM us, let's say the name of the product is going to be, uh, 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 I don't know. Let's do an ebook, right? Like we got
Hmm.
a new ebook coming out. DM us ebook to get 50% off. Let's say like it's a special deal only for the IG subscribers, right?
Hmm.
People who DM your ebook, right? What you're going to do, you're not going to deliver them the ebook itself. You're going to say, hey, where should we send the 50% off coupon to? What's your email?
Yes.
So you're capturing emails automatically in your DMs instantly. And you know what the conversion rate to like them giving out their email after they've sent you the initial keyword?
What's
It's
that?
50 to 80%.
Mm. 50 to 80% conversion
Yes.
from social. Wow.
Yes. And that's because
Wow.
it's native. And that's because it's native
Right.
and it creates first of all, the fact that it's native, it can be like people don't really get like how important it is. People are familiar with the interface. There is zero load time, so it's not a website that's like takes a second or two to load, which is
Hmm.
really important on mobile. Attention spans on mobile are less than a second. Like it's if it's not instant, it's gone because people got a
Yeah.
notification, got a call, got a message, they're already out. So the thing that it's familiar interface, zero load time, zero latency, it's instant. And the fact that it's a trusted channel, so you're not somewhere in the open giving out their email, you're actually conversing directly with Chris or directly with the business
Hmm.
in a private, closed environment that nobody can see right? DMs are not accessible by anybody other than the two parties who are there. So it
Yep.
feels much safer and
Much more intimate.
to much more intimate to give out your, and that's why we were seeing like the like conversion rates, they're just out of this world. And this is why I'm saying, like, this is what's going to happen. Like the next 12 to 24 months, every business account who is actually utilizing Instagram seriously and is serious about the business and growing that and using the channel is going to be using DM automation. So here
Yeah.
is the thing
Uh,
that everybody should keep. Like, I'm sorry for talking for this,
Mike,
but like,
let's no,
I'm
no,
just
let's
gonna.
keep going, man. Keep going.
So this is the thing. If you want to get the highest conversion rates, you got to start right now, because as with any
Yeah.
channel, as with any marketing tactic, call it a tactic, call it a strategy, doesn't matter. Anything that's new will have the highest conversion rates the first year it's out.
Right.
Once it starts to get adopted by everybody else, conversion rates start to drop. Now, this is not to say that this is going to go away. I think that it's the same thing as with websites and with email marketing, etc. Look at email marketing. Every year, open rates going down, CTR, like click through rates are going down. Are we like dropping email marketing? Are we thinking, oh, we got to stop
Nope.
doing, like, no, because it works. Because no matter
Yep.
how low those conversion rates are, they're basically free, right? And like there's
Yep.
nothing, like doing an email broadcast is nothing compared to spending $1, $2 on a click on Facebook. So this is the same thing with IGDM automation. If you want to be in the land of 80% open rates, you got to start right now and capture all of the best conversion rates, because this is
Yeah.
what's going to happen in 1 year. You're going to hear about this 20 more times from other influencers, not from like the CEO of the company, but you're going to like hear about this from everybody else who we are working with. And we're working with like basically the major Instagram marketing influencers, everybody else who are,
Hmm.
there's already thousands of people who are using this, but compared to tens of millions of
Right.
businesses on
Right.
Instagram, that's basically nothing. So nobody's basically using this, but we already have the benefit of seeing thousands of people who are already using this. And what's going to happen is that you're going to hear about this 20 more times. After a year of hearing about this, you're going to become convinced that this is something that you should do. And but the year will have already passed, and you're going to be getting on with the early majority, not with the innovators and the
Hmm.
early adopters. So
Yeah.
this doesn't take like a long time to set up or anything. This literally, like, if you want to do like the basic keyword automation or the basic conversation starters, which is basically allows you to help people start a conversation with you without having to type, like, you do you know when you like go to a profile, click message,
Yes. So
it
let's do
opens
that.
up.
Let's do that. Hold
Yeah,
on, Mike. Let's do that because
for
I don't
sure,
want to. I don't want to get too far ahead with the audience.
for sure.
And you're about to. So are you? Are I told you? Everybody, I told you. I told you what Mike was going to bring. So let me say this. All right.
Yeah.
First off, I need to hats off and congratulations with your early success with Telegram, right? To be able to
Thanks.
use that platform and establish success and be able to leverage that quickly and more. I'll say leverage it more effectively for Facebook and build on that. I feel like everything that you've done has just been one step to get you closer and closer to this moment with this
Mm,
big innovation for you guys to be leading the charge, right? So there's a group of people who are listening to this and have not, maybe they've engaged with the messenger, or maybe and they knew what it was and maybe they didn't. They're like, wait a minute, somebody wasn't typing wasn't typing that to me. Just break it down in layman's terms what messenger marketing is, when you guys started with Facebook and now what it's going to evolve to as we migrate over into Instagram.
that's a great question. Um, Basically, and we used to call it messenger marketing when we were just in Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
In 2019, we switched to chat marketing because it was obvious that this
Love
is
it.
going to be a multi-channel approach, and the flow builder that allows you to do this is going to be applicable to any messaging app. So I'm
Yeah.
going to talk about chat marketing, if you
Okay.
if you're okay
Yep.
with that. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
chat marketing is the discipline of using chat as a two-way communication to do marketing, sales, and service. And we focus
Yeah.
on chat marketing because that's the number one use case that people usually come to us for,
Yeah.
because that's the thing that gets your top line growing. Like, you're not trying to cut costs. Usually, people are trying to grow sales. And
Yep.
in layman's terms, the way it works is that on Facebook Messenger, you have a Facebook page, a business page, right? And it can have conversations. So it can actually converse with your customers. So when somebody messages you, it can automatically reply to them and, for example, capture their order information, or it can capture their email
Yeah.
information. So it can ask them questions, and it can, for example, qualify the lead, right? If you run a marketing agency, you can ask them, what marketing budget do you have? How long have you been in business? And you're asking these questions just to make sure that it's a good fit for your business. So you're not spending time with clients who are not going to be a good fit. And maybe you can, I don't know, send them to a blog post, maybe to a YouTube video, maybe to some
Yeah.
materials. But if it's a good fit, then you can get an instant notification that, hey, there is a really hot lead on the line and they fit perfectly the business. You got to talk to them, and you can capture their phone number and get on the phone with them instantly. And in our day and age of like mobile interactions, everything has to be instant. If like the leads grow cold, not over a matter of like weeks or days, they grow cold over a matter of
Mm-hmm.
minutes, right? If you're not
Mm.
there to serve the customer right away and answer their questions, that customer is probably going to change their mind, find somebody else. Like, it's everything has to be really, really fast these days. And
Yeah.
this is what chat is about. It's about how to create those instant, private, personal, and converting connections.
Now tell
And
me this,
I
Mike,
think,
real quick. Let me interject real
yeah,
quick.
for sure.
Tell me this. When you have your chat your chat bot going
Yeah,
and you've collected their first name, their email, and their phone number, where do
yeah,
you store that information? Are you able to sync it with the CRM? Is it in a spreadsheet? Like what
yeah.
happens with the
You could do
information after you capture it?
Yeah, you could do anything with it. Like, you could save
Hmm.
it in ManyChat. We have direct integrations with Google Sheets. You can send it to spreadsheet. We have direct
Hmm.
integrations with like CRMs, like HubSpot CRM, or Zapier. You could send it through Zapier to anywhere, basically.
Got it. Got
So
it.
there is. If you have something set up already, you can use that and just send over. Use ManyChat as a data capture tool, as a lead capture tool, and then send it over to
Yeah.
your system. Or you could use ManyChat. Some people use ManyChat for this also, because we do have what's called custom fields. So you can save all the information about the customer right inside ManyChat, and then use it to call people or to message people, etc. Um,
Love it. Love it, man. It's like a social CRM,
yeah, exactly.
for
That's
you.
one of the ways to talk about it. Not a lot of people, like, to be honest, like, if we're talking about like the smaller businesses, like, not a lot of people know about what the CRM is. People know
Yeah.
about, like, I
Yeah.
got an email list, I got a customer list. CRM like comes from Salesforce and from like the bigger enterprise clients. But now I feel like
Hmm.
it's getting more and more acceptance, which is great, because that's
Absolutely.
exactly the thing that we were doing.
Yeah, and I've also seen, and you tell me if you've seen the usage of ManyChat expand. But now that Facebook has kind of changed their algorithms so many times over, people aren't engaging with business pages as much. But now you've
Yeah,
got a lot of people creating Facebook groups, and then they'll
yeah,
do a training in the group and say, "Hey, if you want this training or you want access to this resource, comment below," and then that comment triggers a
yeah.
messenger bot to say, "Hey, you said you wanted this. Here it is." And then it says, "Where can we send this?" Is that something that you guys are seeing more and more of being effective in terms of Facebook group usage in ManyChat?
Yeah, the thing with Facebook groups is that you cannot really automate comments to the group posts, because The way that Facebook works is that the automation has to be attached to a Facebook page. So the group
Mm,
itself, like if you've seen that, that's probably somebody hacking the APIs, because that's not
got you.
available
Got you.
through the official APIs. But you could do that. You could use the group to send people over to a Facebook page with like you could, for example,
Oh, and then
share a
activate the page.
Facebook pages post inside the group,
Yep.
and if they comment on the Facebook pages post, yes, you could automate those replies to the group. Um,
Yep.
Facebook, I would say, like, listen, if I'm being honest, the most important social network right now is Instagram. And I'm not
Mm,
saying
mm,
that because of the user numbers, because Facebook is bigger in terms of number of users.
sure, sure.
I'm saying that because of the ad spend. The ad spend on
Mm,
Instagram is right now, if you think about like Facebook as a company that owns
mhm.
Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagram, etc., if you think about the revenue split and the specifically ad revenue split, Instagram is responsible for 36% of Facebook's total ad revenue.
Wow.
Yeah,
And that's a big chunk because of
that's a huge
just
chunk.
how recently Instagram was acquired by Facebook. I mean,
Yeah,
that wasn't what, 5 years ago, I think?
maybe
Maybe.
more. No,
Um,
probably
right.
more.
Time is flying, man. So probably more, but either way, to
But
take up
still,
36% of
of the total
advertised, that's
company,
a huge chunk,
it's
man. That's a
huge.
third, over
Yeah,
a third.
that's a huge portion. And what I think, like, people don't know this number, but I think what the key part is that not only is it already 36%, the rate at which it is growing. So right now, let me tell you this. Right now, Instagram is growing 50% year over year.
Mm,
So
wow.
next year, it's going to go from it's going to go to probably 45 billion. So right now, Instagram is 36% of like Facebook's total revenue. In terms of dollars, it's 30 billion. So 30
Mm,
revenue a year. It's going to go probably to 40 to 45 this year in 2021. Um,
yeah.
Facebook proper is growing much slower, and if you think about like the overall Facebook growth as a company, Facebook earned in 2019 70 billion totally, including Instagram. So Facebook as a company
Hmm.
earned 70 billion. In 2020, it earned 84 billion. So that's 20% growth year over year. And I'm doing this math, like it's going to be hard to do this over audio, but bear with me. So Facebook added 14 billion from 70 to 84 billion. Right? It added 14 billion in incremental revenue. Does it make sense? So in
Hmm.
2020, Facebook increased their revenue, additionally earned 14 billion. 10 out of that
Yep.
14 came from Instagram.
Mm,
So
mm.
Instagram
It
like,
it's
is
here. It's here to
responsible.
stay.
Instagram is responsible for 70%, 70, for 70% of Facebook's growth right now.
Yep.
Just think about
Man.
that. 70%. It's driving the company forward. It's the main engine that's driving
Yeah.
Facebook forward right now. Now, this is the kicker. By 2023, Instagram is going to be responsible for over half of Facebook's total revenue.
Sure. Sure.
So right now it's 36%. It's going to go over to 50 or over 50% by 2023. That's just 2 years. Just 2 years. And Instagram is going to be the major source of ad revenue for Facebook. And for people
Yeah.
who are like, oh, this is projections, we don't know what's going to happen in 2 years, etc., it already happened in the US. I'm talking about globally right now. In the US, Instagram is already making more money for Facebook than Facebook proper. It's
Yep.
already over 50%.
Listen, I'll
So
I'll
that
share
already
this.
happened.
I'll share
Yeah.
this, Mike. I cannot count how many people that I've talked to in the last month, I'll say. In fact, I talked to a associate just the other day, and they told me, look, we do all our sales through DM on Instagram. We
Yeah.
no calls, and this is not like $50, $100 products. Like Mike, these are 5-figure products being sold on Instagram, and this is manual messaging. So
Yeah.
what you're introducing now is this DM automation. Is this available to everybody? How does somebody get their hands on it? Just if you sign up for ManyChat and it's there, like is it there
Yeah.
an exclusive wait list? Do you have to have a certain amount of followers? Like what's the
Yeah,
process?
that's a great question. So right now, it's available to anybody with either from 1,000 followers to
Okay.
100,000 followers, and that's not
Okay.
our limitation. That's a limitation that is coming from Instagram itself. So they're
Got
doing
you.
a phase road. But since you already told me that this is going to air in a few weeks, I must correct this. If you're listening to this in a recording, then it's already available to everybody because the somewhere in the first half of August they're
Yep.
doing phase three, and phase three is when it's rolled out to everybody. So by the time
Love
you
it.
hear this,
Wow.
anybody,
Yep.
literally, no matter how many followers you have, you can just go to manychat.com, sign up, and you'll be able to automate your DMs. And we do have a gallery of templates. Like we
Yeah,
made
that's what
it
I was going to
super.
ask. Yeah,
Yeah.
how easy is it to get started, Mike? Now, look, I know from experience, you guys have a visual builder which speaks my language. I can see arrows and from each message, and I can see the pathing. So, for somebody who is great at Instagram, they've been seeing their following grow. This has perhaps been the missing piece, Mike. And they're like, I am so glad I heard this podcast. I'm going to ManyChat now. You already know there's that initial overwhelm whenever somebody logs into new software. You guys have templates. What else is there waiting for them to help take advantage of the DM automation?
That's exactly what we've been working on this summer,
Hmm.
is how to make it easy for people to get started. And
Yeah.
basically what will happen is that you'll go through the onboarding process, and then you'll be able to select which campaign you want to start with. And we already have a lot of campaigns there: how to capture emails, how to qualify leads, how to do conversation starters, basic keyword
Mm,
automation, anything that you would want to get started with. Like, it's already there. You just basically set up the template, change the content to suit your voice, and it's very visual. Like, there's, as you've mentioned, zero coding required. You don't need to like
yeah.
code anything. Or it's like, basically, if you can post on Instagram, you'll be able to like use ManyChat. It's very visual.
Yeah.
Like, if send this message, add this button. Like, if person presses this button, then send this message. It's very visual. Just drag and drop. What you see is what you get, type of thing. Um,
Yeah, and
and
I'll say this, if people are not putting together the importance of this, just chat marketing, period. When you bring that into social media, there's a lot of anonymous activity, a lot of anonymous interest that's happening on your page. You don't see all your page views, but you see your likes. That's a fraction of the people actually seeing your stuff. So now, when you have these tools that allow you to capture on the attention that you're grabbing, it goes from unknown anonymous to known and reachable, right? Like I now know who's
yeah,
interested
exactly.
because I said, hey, we're running this special. If you want to get a discount, just type in special
Yeah, exactly.
and we'll send, they type in special and then the DM automation takes over, says, oh, great. Where should we send your 15% discount? And now once they respond, you have captured somebody who would have been just anonymous to you.
Exactly.
Instagram would have seen that that person visited your page. Facebook would have seen it, but you would have had no clue. And now you can capture that information. Wow, man.
Now, can I get the cherry on top? When somebody does that, what happens is it opens up a 24-hour window, what's called a
Mm,
24-hour messaging window. So whenever somebody starts a conversation with your account, Instagram gives you 24 hours to talk to that person back. Now, you could ask them for their
Mm,
email and to send them the coupon, etc. What you could also do is, let's say in an hour, you can check in and say, hey, have you had the chance to use the coupon?
yeah. Yeah.
Right? How valuable is freaking that? Because that gives you like again, look, Instagram notifications are on, right? Like
Yep.
if you get a DM, you check the thing. It's You're getting for 24 hours for that. Like when somebody messages you, you get 24 hours of a really clean um, and high signal channel with that
Yeah.
specific
Right. Right.
customer. It's so hard to
High
get a high
interest.
signal channel right now
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
where are you going to get that? Like it's email is very low open rates, very low, like it's spam to death. It's like so many messages you're getting there, and every other channel is basically paid, right? You have to like pay for re-engagement or retargeting, etc. Here, when somebody expresses interest, you get 24 hours to build a relationship with them. And if they click on the like, hey, have you had a chance to check out like to take advantage of that coupon yet? You can say yes or not yet. If they click any of those, that restarts the 24-hour window because they've
Oh,
taken the
so as long
action.
as they're engaging with you, it's a rolling 24-hour
Yeah,
window.
any action in the
Oh, got
chat
you.
like gets you another 24 hours. So obviously, like at some point people are going to disengage, and
Sure.
that's not the point. Is that you can actually, they can say, oh, not yet. You can say, you can use that not yet, like people could say, oh, that's a negative response. You got to give them that negative response, because if
Yep.
people already took the advantage of that, that's great. You can promote something else. You can upsell, down. You can upsell or cross sell, right? If they say
Hmm.
yes, I did that, you're gonna say great. You know what comes great with that specific thing? Like if it's if
Yep.
it's something, if it's an educational product, you can say like here's another thing that comes with it, like you're doing this challenge, here's a diary, like, or you could promote, cross promote the course. Or if it's e-commerce, you can say, oh, you've bought these shoes, here's something else that what like does great with this,
Right.
so you can actually
Yep.
cross sell. If they say not yet, you can highlight the benefits of the product, and you can say, oh, no worries, you still got, let's say, 23 hours. You can say like that's a timed coupon, right? Like
Yep.
there's a hard limit on how, like when you can use it. But then you can say, hey, no worries, you still got 24 hours, nothing to worry about. By the way, this is why I think you should do this, and this is why you should take advantage of this coupon.
Yeah.
So that's, I think it's a very powerful it's a very powerful way to communicate over social and over specifically Instagram, which is now, as I mentioned, the number one social network, because revenue wise, and revenue is the
Hmm.
most important thing because that's where businesses spend their money, and businesses do not spend their money out of their like goodwill or anything. Like they spend their money because they're getting an ROI, right? And
Right.
if
Right.
if
I'm
mess
not
if
nonprofit.
if Instagram is going to be the biggest social network in terms of revenue in just 2 years, that's where everybody's eyes should be. And if your business is not using Instagram, you should start like being there, because you should be part of the conversation. Even if you're a
Yeah.
local business, even if you're professional services, it's like word of mouth, right? If somebody comes to your place, you got to be taggable. Like there has to be a profile
Yeah.
that they can tag so other people
Yeah.
can find you, right? If you're doing
Yep.
professional services, same thing. Somebody's going to show up the work that you did for them. You're doing renovation, and somebody's going to say like, hey, look at what this guy has done for us, or this company has done for us. Great, now you're getting more and more clients through word of mouth. So you
Yeah.
got to be,
Absolutely.
it's like websites and everything else. Like you got to be a part of that conversation, even if you're not doing this like every day, posting 10 stories, etc. Like, you just got to have a profile that showcases. It's kind of like becoming like a new website, right? Like you are
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
showcasing your products and everything that else you're doing. And exactly like with a website, there has to be a certain automated piece to it where people can find out more, make an order, leave their email, and contact you and talk to you. So yeah, so
Yeah.
we're
No, this is
we're as
good.
as you can hear, yeah,
Yeah.
we're super
I,
excited
I
about
can
this.
I can hear I can hear the excitement. I see it, and man, I could just listen to you talk about it all day, because Instagram, I'll be honest, is one of the platforms that here over at Automation Bridge we haven't fully tapped into, but it's been on our radar. And things like this, anytime I hear the word automation, it grabs my attention. And what
Exactly.
what I really like about it is, I know some people will be like, "Oh man, only 24 hours." I'm rejoicing because there's maintenance built in. Usually in my CRM, I have to program it. Hey, after they haven't responded to X amount of emails, mark them as disengaged. Like I have to program that part in there. But it being built in, that's great for me because now I know whenever I log into ManyChat and it shows me who I can reach and who I can't, my engagement percentage is right there, so I can kind of shape my expectations when we do this promo or when I do this video. These are the amount of eyes that will see it. And then there's a whole organic piece to it. So as people are becoming disengaged, we're organically adding more engaged, and it becomes the marketing machine. People have heard, they've heard your enthusiasm about Instagram. You probably have a lot of mini chat fans listening, because a lot of the people in my programs and that follow me use mini chat. So everybody is probably fired up right now, Mike. Everybody's like, all right,
Yes.
Mike, we get it. So where is the best place for them to go to take advantage of not just the DM automation that we mentioned, but just get integrated with mini chat as a whole?
It's just manychat.com,
Okay.
ManyChat.com. That's the best place to start. By the way, we haven't mentioned one thing which I think is a great place to start, which is our
Hmm.
now. I've just got a message from our content director of content, and she said that we won a video award for our Instagram course. So we have a
Oh,
free
wow.
award-winning Instagram DM automation course. Now I can say award-winning, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
So
Love it,
basically,
man.
it's
Wow.
13
Congrats.
lessons,
Hmm.
and it will tell you everything that you need to get started with about Instagram automation. And the way you do
Hmm.
that is you go to manychat.com, and there's going to be a resources section, and you're going to go to free course, and there's going to be an IGDM automation course. So just
Great.
manychat.com resources IGDM automation course.
Great.
And
Great. Great.
it's a great place to get started. Right now, we have until the end of summer. If this does come out late August, then you still have a few days for the IG Summer, which is we're giving
Yeah.
away all of the pro features for free for 3 months.
Oh,
So if you
nice.
register
Nice.
and start your IG Summer before August 31st, if we can make this go out before August 31st, then people will be able to take advantage of this. No
We might
pressure.
have to move some things around, Mike.
No pressure.
I
But
didn't know you came bearing gifts. I didn't know. So I want people to take advantage. So if we could turn the production time around on that, we will. And then we'll have the link in the chat, manychat.com. It's in the show notes. If you want to type it in right now, you can't wait. Go manychat.com. In the resources tab, we've got the award-winning Instagram course, DM Instagram course. So, Mike, I can't thank you enough, man. Thank you for bringing your enthusiasm. And you know what? Thank you for bringing some numbers with
oh,
that enthusiasm. The nerd in me, the analytics side of me, would really enjoyed hearing those numbers, the growth, and just that statistical baseline, right? That
mm.
statistical foundation of why people should be looking at multiple channels in your marketing, man. So thank you so much, man, for coming on to the podcast. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed this. And you will see me. Everybody listening, just know I'm not just interviewing Mike, I'm also listening. So I've got a handful of notes. I will go back to the team and say, hey, look, there's something we can't afford to ignore. Because Mike said so. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands dirty as well, man. But thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate it, man.
Man, thanks so much for having me. Really enjoyed this conversation, Chris.
Yes, absolutely. Now I'll see you online, buddy.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me just say this. If I didn't hit pause and stop, Mike would have gone on. And I don't mean that to be like, oh, he's so long-winded. No, he was passionate. I hope you guys heard that. The passion in his voice for you to get in early. His passion convinced me to get this published sooner. Just for you all. I don't know which one of who is using Instagram or who could benefit greatly from this, but it just sounds like there's an opportunity at hand to get in on the ground level of something. Why not be a part of it? So hopefully this episode is your entryway into making Q4 that much greater by adding an element of chat marketing, specific DM automation to help scale your sales. And do me a favor, make sure you share this with your local Instagram marketer or influencer. That person that you know spends a majority of their time on Instagram trying to grow their following. As a business owner that has a business page, they've got to have a business page. Share this episode with them. Let them get excited. Don't keep this from them. They're probably working too hard as it is. And this new feature may be able to just not only set them free, but set their sales free to scale as well. All right. Lastly, before I go into our outro, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast. Did you not enjoy Mike as a guest? I hope my voice is soothing enough or easy enough to listen to where it's not a heavy lift to really grab these concepts, these marketing concepts, the automated marketing concepts for you and your business. Because here at Automation Bridge, we're dedicated to training digital marketing professionals to become automation service providers. Small businesses need it. You heard Mike say it. These businesses, everybody's trying to figure out what's the next platform? What should we be doing? Where should we be? Small businesses are in dire need of marketers that understand the technology that's available, but also the strategy so that they can marry the two and build the automated systems that are going to be responsible for your rapid growth. Okay. What we've done is we've made it easy for you to get access to everything that you need. I told you we're dedicated to sourcing you with everything that you need. Do me a favor, go to allsystemsgopodcast.com and you'll get access to the latest episodes. You'll be able to get access to our Amplify My Automation package, where it is designed to put automated marketing and sales systems in your business over the next 6 months. You have immediate access to that. We have a free Facebook group you can join. You can request or refer someone to be part of the podcast, to be a guest on the podcast. Just like Mike, if there's software that you're like, man, I just wish Chris would talk to the CEO and extract more out of their brain or extract more out of what. Hey, refer them. Allsystemsgopodcast.com. The link is right there. You'll see it says be a guest. You can click on the link, put their information in or put your own information in. And any resource or training mentioned on the podcast is all there. One URL to remember, get you access to everything. And that's allsystemsgopodcast.com. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode. And until next time I see you online, automate responsibly, my friends.